Yeah, I see the title, man. Let's
Do you
get
think
to
load
it.
management is a major problem for the NBA?
You can't handle the truth.
I wouldn't think load management is a major problem for the NBA if it worked. Hello, today, how are you all doing? When it comes to load management, my
Sheesh.
first introduction to it was when Caruso baptized his own teammate in JaVale McGee. It was shortly before this or a little bit afterward. I can't remember if
I
it was
remember
this
this.
time specifically
That
that you
was
see
crazy,
before
though.
you, but LeBron was on the bench. He was looking pretty swagged out, and he wasn't playing. I was wondering why he wasn't playing because there was no real injury announcement. I didn't see him in pain or wincing in the previous game, so I was perplexed. I didn't know. And then shortly before tip-off, they announced he wouldn't be playing because of load management. I had never heard that phrase before up until that point. The first thought in my
Yo,
mind when I heard load
so
management,
Bron started the load management, bro? Nah, man. Nah, man. Come on, bro. You can't be out here starting all the BS. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh,
it was
man.
construction. I thought, is he a contractor? Is he moving furniture? I don't know what that is. But what I just told you was my own personal experience becoming aware of load management. The first technical time I'd ever heard of it was when Greg Popovich rested the entire Spurs starting lineup. I didn't know what it was for
Okay.
exactly. I was younger. I wasn't too interested in the technical.
So Bron did start load management. My fault, bro. My fault. Yeah, don't try to start that in the comments. He did not start load management. You know what I'm saying? Greg Popovich, Coach Pop started that. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest coaches of all time. You know what I'm saying? He thought it was a great idea.
Details. I just assumed
Yo.
multiple people were injured and them being out would be for the best instead of trying to play through it. And I agree with pretty much all that Popovich had said regarding the subject of resting and the game being more sophisticated, pace being up more as expected of individual players. And he had seemed genuinely sincere about certain people paying money, trying to see their favorite players. They show up to a game and the person they want to see isn't there. And I get it. On paper, I understand it. It's practical. It makes sense. But it doesn't work. The Los Angeles Clippers have shown us it does not work. More specifically, Kawhi Leonard has shown us that it doesn't work. Kawhi Leonard is the poster child for load management. And if he's the poster child, then Anthony Davis is the poster baby.
My back. I threw out my back.
There's a lot of
Yeah, it's
criticisms you
bad.
can give LeBron, but as he continues to age, him missing games and load managing makes more and more sense. But when you have players who are sometimes a decade younger than LeBron having these issues, you start to look around and say, what is the problem here?
Nah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's one thing for Bron to do this. You know what I'm saying? Year 19, year 18, year 17, wherever he started doing that, I'm not too sure. You know what I'm saying? It's another thing for these guys in their third, fourth years, fifth years, out here playing 60, 70 games. It needs to be at least 75, 78, high 70s, you know? For the majority of the players in the NBA. It's like, I don't understand it.
This comment I saw in one of ESPN's videos on the subject really stood out to me. My daughter wanted to see Ja Morant play, bought tickets to her first NBA game. Ja took the night off, sat on the bench, and ate candy and left.
See, bro, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And Ja Morant is a very exciting player to see. Like, Ja Morant not playing crazy, I would be tight. I wanted to see him go crazy. You know, almost dunk on somebody. Even though he really been dunking on shit, but like that's crazy,
With his
bro.
teammates. We were told he was hurt. He played the next game. I doubt we'll ever go to an NBA game again. I don't know why Coach
Definitely,
and while you have
it's definitely a bad look. Like we just looking at you and you just sitting on the bench having a great, good old time, jolly time. What's up, my boy? You supposed to be on the court.
a big old
That's
smile
definitely
on
a
your
bad
face,
look.
joking, laughing with your teammates, we up here looking like this. Well, I guess I'll try again next month. I'll just pick up a couple extra shifts of
Yo.
bullshit and come back. For
Like,
a lot
for
of people,
real,
that
though.
simply isn't doable. And now as we go back to Kawhi Leonard, why is he the poster child of load management? Because this man has yet to play a back-to-back game in years. literal years, and you still can't get him to play a decent chunk of the season, let alone play in the playoffs. Remember how the Clippers were touted to be the team to beat in the West, the most feared team? They've got Kawhi, they've got Paul George, they've got dogs on their team. Oh man, this may be Kawhi town after all. No. 4 years now. No, it's either he's injured or Paul George is injured. Paul George's injuries have been more freak accidents, but Kawhi is sus. At least with Anthony Davis, you can look at him and say, maybe you're just brittle. Why don't you try to power through it? Is it so serious that you need to miss the game or you need to go out on the bench? With Kawhi Leonard, you question if he even wants to play basketball. If what Kawhi was doing bore some fruit or there was a positive cause and
But also, I heard Kawhi Leonard has degenerate knees, however you say that. You know, that might affect him as well, but someone let me know how serious that is. I'm not
You
too
can
sure
shut me up, or you can say, well, you don't know what you're
That's
talking
crazy.
about. He's won 2 extra rings on the Clippers. He's won a ring on the Clippers. You can't say that. The more he's load managed, the less you've seen him play. And wasn't the whole point to more load management is better for players? But we're seeing with more and more time that's gone on, the more players load manage, the less you see them, the more undependable they are, the more injuries ensue, and the less chances you have of winning a title. Let's actually do something and talk as if we're the players in the league, all right? 82 games, that is a lot. You got a couple back-to-backs in there. I don't know if I can play all 82. Seasons are long, all right? Okay, you're doing a lot, keeping your body in shape. What these people do, athletes in general, the amount of fortitude that it takes to be able to keep up any semblance of peak physicality and eliteness in the mind is gargantuan. So you don't want to play a lot of the regular season, so be it. You don't care about MVPs, you don't care about defensive player of the years, accolades, okay, fine. So long as we get the ring, that's what matters, right? What's that? You're injured for the playoffs? You're gonna miss the playoffs too? What the hell was the point of all this?
That's
Why did
crazy.
I give you this contract? You're not playing in the regular season and you're missing the playoffs, so we don't get a ring out of this buffoonery? We get nothing. Well, there's always next year. Next year comes, it's the exact same story as this one. Well, there's always next year. How many players have you guys heard that this sentence follows them? If X player is healthy, if healthy, you hear that with everybody, don't you? With most people. I won't say everybody. You hear that with too many players now. If so-and-so or if insert player, insert bum
There
is
definitely is a
healthy,
lot of injuries
then they're a
nowadays.
top team.
Ah,
But they never are. Well, I mean, maybe more load management is... No! In LeBron's interview, when they had questioned him about load management, and he said, I don't see the point of not playing if I'm not healthy. I only sit if my coach tells me to sit. You know LeBron will tell the coach, I don't want to play, and the coach will say, okay, you don't have to play. You know LeBron has the power and the
That's a
pull
fact.
to tell the front office. He can tell Rob Pelinka. He can tell Jeannie Buss, I ain't feeling it today. And then they will issue a
That's a
statement
fact.
saying, okay, you're going to sit out. It's similar to you asking your parents, can I not go to school today? Is the kid calling themselves out of school? No, the parents are, because the kid asked. I mean, I used to do the same thing too, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I'm not saying this is something that all the players do. I do believe there's more than should be a certain amount of players that do this. But think of it from an organization's level or their perspective. You're paying these people an upwards of 200 and plus to now 300 and plus $1 million if you're Jaylen Brown, soon to be Jason Tatum, and all these other people. So wouldn't you want to protect
it's
your product?
crazy. They getting that
Why are
chicken.
you
I don't
still
blame
out
them
here
though,
in the
man.
fourth
Get
quarter?
that bread.
Well, I
but
mean, I want...
You're out there to
you're,
play.
you're done. I've seen Steve Kerr sit Curry numerous times before Curry's about to get 50 points. I've seen LeBron get sat. I've seen plenty of people get sat against their wishes. And I could tell Curry and LeBron and some of them wanted to say, oh, I want that 40. I want that 50. No, you're sitting. And Steve Kerr, I've noticed he has no tolerance for Curry staying in any extra than he needs to. He takes him out immediately. So I believe a lot of these organizations, upper management, have become scary. They're so protective of their players and they're so busy trying to avoid a season ending injury that they're willing to miss half the season in order to make that a possibility, only to still not get to the playoffs and still not get a title. And then that player gets upset, he becomes disheartened, he becomes spoiled, and then he decides to take his talents elsewhere. And what do you have to
That's
show
a
for it?
fact.
Maybe 10 years of nothingness, mediocre. Oh, well, we got to the semis once. We got to the Western Conference Finals once. Yeah, that's it. That's all you're going to get. Have fun. Fans, fuck you. We all know how life is. We know the randomness that accompanies life. We know that nothing is ever promised. So there will be things that don't work out. How many times have we called into work simply because we do not want to do it today? There's no particular reason. I'm not sick. Nothing bad has happened in the family. I just don't want to be fucking here. Leave me alone today. Players can feel that way. That is fine. We as fans, we need to be cognizant of the fact that these are human beings. They get
That's a fact.
tired. You have to take accountability in the play. You have to think about mental fitness, mental health, and just the wear and tear that these seasons put on their body. I understand that, but there are people who are abusing it. Zion Williamson abusing it, Ben Simmons abusing it, and little do they know they're only shortening their careers, because I've seen some doctors have come out, high-level doctors in and around the industry have stated if the body does not receive enough reps to get used to an activity, it doesn't matter how much you try to take care of it and do these things. You haven't exposed it enough to the wear and tear, the back and forth. So when you do play, you're just more prone to get injured. It's like trying to run a race when you haven't warmed up properly or doing anything, moving furniture, doing
facts.
that when you haven't done anything physically straining in months. And something may end up hurting longer than it should, or something may get broken, or you may be like, oh, let's take him out the game. We don't want you playing as much. We'll put you
That's
on minutes
facts. They're
restriction
talking
for
facts.
like half the season. And then the playoffs, you'll be fresh. Oh, look, your body turned on you because it's just simply not exposed to this level of physicality going back and forth. But that's just what I think. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not some expert.
That's the end of this one, y'all. Yeah, bro. More of the story, these players got to be out there to play, bro. And if load management really doesn't work, you see what I'm saying? It's even more reason to be out there and play. Like, I just don't understand. I understand the taking players out when up 20. That's smart. We don't got time for you to get injured right now up 20. It makes no sense. You know, that's smart. But in terms of not playing, sitting on the bench, you know what I'm saying, laughing, joking, you know what I'm saying, chilling, vibing, you know what I'm saying, like, we paid the bread to see you, and we see you not even do what you do. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But if y'all enjoyed, man, tell me how y'all feel in the comments. Click on the last reaction, subscribe, you know what I'm saying, share the video with your peoples on your social media platforms, and I'm out of here, man.